Hey guys, welcome to Like United. Welcome to another video, and today is time to talk about Erling Braut Haland. And I believe any Norwegian fans that are listening to this video, let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. I believe it's Haland. Everyone is saying Alan, but I believe it is Erling Braut Haland. About the news that came out today, it's the topic of the day probably, and not only for Barcelona but for every club looking for a young striker, a cheap young striker, because according to Bild, the German newspaper article, apparently Haland is going to be available from January for 20 million euros. And what can I say? If he is 20 million euros, Barcelona, forget about Lautaro, forget about Abel Ruiz, forget about everything. Go ahead and sign Haland. Why do I say this? Well, because for 20 million euros, and with the performances that he's had this season in the Austrian League and in the Champions League, well, he needs to be first in football right now. Like, right now, he needs to be signing, because there's no way it can go wrong. For 20 million euros, with 19 years of age, like, it's impossible that it can go wrong for Haland. And I mean it, because what's the worst thing that can happen? That he doesn't succeed at Barcelona and you sell him for 20 million euros? It's a no risk buy there. And if he succeeds, you have one of the best strikers in world football. We need to do this, and we need to do this now. We need to act quickly, we need to act certainly, because the numbers that he's putting up, and I don't put everything to numbers, I'm going to talk more about the player in depth later, but the appearances and the goals that he's scoring right now, at the rate that he's doing it, with 19 years of age, including the Champions League, it is unbelievable. His appearances are 13 games played in the Austrian League, with 15 goals scored and 4 assists. In the Champions League, he has 5 games played, 8 goals scored, and in the Cup, he has 2 games played, 4 goals scored. This is ridiculous. It is an absolutely unbelievable rate of goals that he's scoring right now. It is very, very nice that he has managed to, score at this rate. And let me tell you that this is not like he's played all the minutes possible. No, he's in the Champions League. I believe that he started 3 games and came off the bench other 2 games. So he's not even playing 90 minutes in all the games, and he's at a point where he's scoring 1.55 goals per game, which of course he's not probably going to be able to sustain that, especially if he goes to a better league. But with 6'3", with 19 years of age, with a good acceleration, good skill, good control with the ball, really good instinct inside the area, Barcelona, go ahead and sign me now. We know that if you're at one of the RB clubs like Salzburg, Leipzig, they work well with the youngsters. They prepare these youngsters. They are teaching them how to be the best version of themselves. And if you don't go ahead and sign Haland now, then you're gonna have to then pay 150 million euros to sign him later. So please, like, it is rumored that Borussia Dortmund is very interested in the youngster, and obviously, like, this is the kind of player they need. They need a player that's able to finish all the chances that the likes of that Brandt, Marco Reus, Thorgan Hazard, like, they have so many creative players. But Paco Alcácer, yes, he's a good finisher, but doesn't do much more than finishing. So probably Haland would be a much better solution for Dortmund. And we've seen what the loan to Hakimi has done for the player. He's gonna come back to Real Madrid, and he is one of the best left backs in the world at the moment. He is in top class form. He's a really good player, and I think that loaning Haland to Borussia Dortmund, it would be very beneficial for us. It leaves us the space to have Luis Suarez transition into the last year of his career. We loan him from now, from January 2020 until July of 2021, and there you go. When he comes in, it's gonna be a spot right for him, because Suarez would have left and it would have opened the spot for Haland to be at Barcelona and fight for the starting spot. And in the time being, he's getting the best of the best minutes, playing Champions League football, playing with the Bundesliga football, with Borussia Dortmund, and what can I say, it's something that I really like. It's an idea that's crossed my head, and please, if it's 20 million euros, there's no way you can go wrong. He's a player that has the capabilities of being one of the best players in the world, one of the best strikers in the world, and if, like I said, if he doesn't succeed, there's no risk. The risk is that if he ends up being one of the best players in the world, we have an Mbappe situation where getting him is basically, I don't know, like, it's impossible to get afterwards. Like, this is a situation where you have to take the risk. And I say risk very minimum, with not much to say, because it's not much of a risk. It's literally guaranteed no risk. It's not guaranteed success, but it's guaranteed no risk. And I feel sorry for Abel Ruiz. I was saying in the last video that I was talking about Ansu Fati, that I threw out there that I would trust in Abel Ruiz. I'm really sorry for the youngster, but if the opportunity comes that a player like this is 20 years old and he's 19 years old and 20 million euros, I'm sorry for the youngsters of La Masia, but this is an opportunity that we cannot let go on. If I had to profile him in another way, I would say that Haland is very similar to Kasper Dolberg. Like, that season that he exploded at Ajax was very similar to Haland. So if you wanna, compare him to someone, that could be it. I'm not saying that he's at the same level as Dolberg, but Dolberg is also a player with a lot of potential. It's just that there's attitude concerns with him. But Haland seems to be very concerned. His father was a player that played for Manchester City, seeing as Erling he was born on Leeds in England. So everything goes well for him. Apparently he's professional, he's focused on his career. Loaning him to Borussia Dortmund, a team that generates a lot of chances, that is always up there in the Bundesliga. So playing Champions League football every single season, there's not a striker that will be taking a lot of minutes away from Haland. So again, not much to say there. Like, sorry for La Masia, sorry for any players that were trying to break into that spot, but let's give him a chance. And this also goes in tandem with what Luis Suarez said about, he was talking in an interview that when he leaves, Barcelona need an option for him in the future and need to start thinking. And he's been throwing it out there time and time again for the past couple months, and it's true, we have to start thinking about a striker. But Suarez, and this is a message to Suarez, you have to start thinking about the future when you leave. We have to start thinking about the future when you leave and before you leave, because I believe that Haland, and this is what I think, like, this is perfectly fine. We have Dembélé, Griezmann, Suarez, Messi, with Ansu Fati and Pedri coming next year to be, the sporadic forwards. And after Suarez leaves, we go ahead and promote Haland to the first team with Dembélé, Griezmann, Suarez, and then Ansu Fati and Pedri will keep having their growth in the first team. This is for me the best way to build a squad, and if possible, then you bring someone like Kylian Mbappe. So in the next couple of years, you have a forward line of Dembélé, Haland, and maybe Mbappe, with Ansu Fati and Pedri already established as 13 players that can fight for minutes in the first team. This for me is, a dream. It's something that I'm seeing very clearly, and like I said, I'm gonna keep repeating it again and again, because I cannot believe it. Like, if it's true that he's 20 million euros, Barcelona, I don't care what you have to do, sign him right now, because for 20 million euros we could have a player that's then worth 200 million euros, and this is an opportunity of the century, definitely. If it works well, it could be one of the best signings in history of sport ever. But with that said and done, Leave me your opinions about the player. What do you think about his characteristics, about his track record, about how he's doing right now? Would you like Barcelona to sign him? Where do you think he should go on loan, if he's to go on loan? Leave me all your opinions about the player in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Blaugranas.
Waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go, 'cause I am happy.